told you that Hero Sports had come out with their top 25. I know ETSU has found a fringe poll that says they're in the top 25, but and that doesn't surprise me in all this. But anyway, I did find this very interesting. Of course, I told everybody about my media ballot for how I picked the Southern Conference. And I'll go through it here real fast. If you missed it, you can read about why on Medium, or just go to our 1420 WEMB Sports Radio archives down below. You'll see in the video section on Facebook, where I picked them and why I picked them the way that I did. So follow me, Marky Billson, MarkyBillson, double L, and no I-E, no E in the first name. I hate it when they spell it with that. It's Marky, not Hensley, or, And not Ed Markey, like the politician, or somebody like, no, M-A-R-K-Y, all right? 385 with an M. Somebody got that. The circumstance with the top 25, but I know I was going to tell you with the Southern Conference, forgive me. I picked them this way, Wofford to win it, ETSU number 2 with what I think will be the best defense in the conference. I just don't know if they'll complete a pass this year. Followed by Furman, Chattanooga 4th, 5th Western, gave a little bit high there. Okay, they don't have a lot of blocking, but Tyree Adams, number 6 Mercer, Adams has done it. Riddle, still kind of young. We'll see. VMI had number 7. They return everybody, and so I guess they could be the most improved team in the conference. Win 3 games this year, not just 1. Then I had the Citadel and Samford. I just didn't see anything outstanding about them. Well, Hero Sports has put out their preseason top 25. And you know who they had number 1? North Dakota State. Right. Wrong. Well, who else? James Madison? Yeah, you're on the bright path there. Okay, James, it's like this. James Madison, who, by the way, there was that talk that James Madison might try to make the bold try for the American Athletic Conference. And now their commissioner is telling people far and wide, it is Mike Arisco, I believe is his name, that the American won't expand for the sake of adding a team. And I don't think that James Madison, I think at ETSU has a better chance of moving up than James Madison. You heard me. Not that they're really thinking of it at ETSU, but it's about market sizes. Harrisonburg is 175 out of 210 in the country. It's hurting ETSU. Their Tri-Cities is falling down. They used to be 92, now they're 102. I used to champion. This is a top 100 market. Now it isn't anymore. It's barely staying in the upper half. That's not good. But hey, you tell me. If I'm looking for TV deals, if I'm looking for broadcast revenue, if I have a conference with the 175th largest TV market, or the 102nd, which gets me more coin, yeah. That's why I think that, sure, James Madison is kind of, CAA is it for you guys. But they can win an FCS, and they do a pretty good job of it. And here we go. The situation that we have is that they believe in Curt Cignetti, the new coach of the Dukes. But they think that James Madison looks, they say on paper, like the best FCS team in the land, because they think that North Dakota State is in a rebuilding mode. So if North Dakota State's in a rebuilding mode, that means that HeroSports.com picks them for number 2. Remember, by the way, SoCon John Hooper now writing for Hero Sports covering the SoCon. Top 5, I don't want to go down all 25. I'll try to do the top 5. UC Davis is number 3 after JMU number 1, James Madison, North Dakota State number 2. By the way, North Dakota State rebuilding, they only returned 7 starters on both sides of the ball. Then UC Davis, Maine, South Dakota State. The team ETSU lost to on a Quay Holmes fumble at the end in the playoffs, Jacksonville State. They are what Hero Sports is saying the best team on paper since 2015 when the Gamecocks went to the FCS National Championship game, and that was also the year that they took Auburn into overtime. Let's see, they really like Zarek Cooper, their quarterback at Jacksonville State, so that's why they picked them. Top Southern Conference team, Wofford, who I said would win the conference. And they speak of former ETSU coach Mike Ayers and saying, wow, Josh Conklin. Now remember, when Josh Conklin was hired, I had Paul Zeiss, whose son played for Josh Conklin, for crying out loud, talking about him. And he says, the Terriers didn't miss a beat last year after they won a conference. All right, tied for it, but they won the tiebreakers. And the feeling is they might even be better this time around. Problem is, still uncertain at quarterback, losing their top two running backs. Defense loses some starters. But then again, offensive line is the best in the conference, and they run the option. I'm picking Wofford. It's a safe thing to do. They got him at number 8. Going down Elon, North Carolina school, formerly in the Southern Conference. The Phoenix are the number 12 team in the Hero Sports preseason poll. Furman at number 15. That's the second Southern Conference team that they select. Of course, everybody talking about Adrian Hope. He had, I've got some reports say he had 15 sacks and others say 14. He led FCS in sacks last year. He had 1.5 a game. That's pretty good. Furman is number 15, number 2. I had Furman number 3 in a Southern Conference behind ETSU, and the reason is that although Hope, there's an argument. Hope, the linebacker, 15 or 14 sacks, depending on just doing accounting. Maybe that's the best player in the Southern Conference. We could argue that. However, I just think that ETSU has a better defense this year. I think they got more talent, even with the loss of Dylan Weigel. And I think that overall, yes, the team over the individual player. But anyway, Hero Sports doesn't agree, so they have Furman number 2 in a SoCon and number 15 overall in their preseason poll. Number 17, Yale. Evan Ellis, actually, from Elizabethton, still working with Yale. I think, and he actually sent me a Facebook request and all that. Yale was 5-5 last year, they say, but they had a lot of injuries to their key players. And 2 years ago, they were 9-1. Remember, they were beating teams in the Southern Conference. They were beating Mercer. So, Yale. It's Yale. Come on. It's Chattanooga is number 19. So they like Chattanooga as Hero Sports as the number 3 team in the Southern Conference. And I could see that. Like I said, Nick Tiano, Mississippi State transfer, real good. A lot of people are saying 6'5", 240, the pros for him. That might be a bit much, but I could see Chattanooga as number 3. I had him number 4. And number 19 overall is Hero Sports. Kennesaw State is their number 22. Of course, they're a top 5 team. We're the Owls. They trounced ETSU in the first game. ETSU thinks that they're something else because they beat them in overtime the next year. But, okay, whatever. Anyway, but they're the only team in the Big South. But then again, they're pretty good. Maybe a bit of a regression, but number 22 is what the people at Hero Sports have, the Owls. They got Princeton, number 23, another non-scholarship team, but they're 10-0 last year. And a lot of losses, but hey, you like Princeton. The school of Dean Cain. Come on, all that. And rounding out their top 25, and this would mean 4th in the Southern Conference, is Citadel. Well, I had number 8. I don't really think much. They were 5-6 last year. And the idea is that they returned 10 starters on offense and 17 overall. So if the AP preseason ballot also has 5 win from last year Tennessee, somebody voting them number 25 this year, well, we'll know that same mentality that the Hero Sports people have for putting Citadel in the top 25. I just don't, I don't see anything that's truly outstanding about the Citadel. Could be wrong. They're one of the 7 teams that SoCon John Hooper thinks can win the thing. As I said, I'm looking at military academies. I'm saying, okay, Citadel returns 17 from 5 and 6. VMI returns 19 from 1 and 10. And yeah, that in itself would say, okay, go with the 5 and 6. But then I started thinking, wait a minute, the Citadel is 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and VMI is putting the ball in the air. Now you know. But no ETSU in the Hero Sports Top 25. Who's the best of the rest? They do have them in their best of the rest, along with Colgate, Dartmouth, Duquesne, ETSU, Incarnate Word, Lamar, the Cardinals, who recently restored football, by the way, New Hampshire, North Alabama, Northern Iowa, and Southeast Missouri. And they also said, why don't you keep an eye on Florida A&M Mercer, who I guess they'd pick as number 6 in the Southern Conference. Yeah, Riddle, the quarterback. A lot of people are saying nice things about him, but it's just, Bobby Lamb, it's time for you to do something here. Montana, North Dakota, who's obviously overshadowed by North Dakota State. San Diego, South Dakota, and the Fighting Howie Longs of Villanova. So, there you go. Who ETSU beat in their last football playoff victory. That was back in 96. We have 35-29 at the Dome. So there you go. So that's the top 25 again. James Madison for Hero Sports. They picked them number 1 preseason. They've got ETSU as the others receiving votes type of thing. And, I know a lot of people at ETSU are kind of excited that in the College Football America yearbook, ETSU got a ranking, but I'm seeing most people, it seems, have them as a sort of, an outside looking into the top 25, like the number 26 or number 27 team or so. But nevertheless, the Bucs were pegged at number 25 in a preseason yearbook, and so the people at ETSU really thought that was just amazing. They had, let's see here, and the College Football America yearbook has more than 930 college football teams, and their top 30 this year. Well, they don't agree with Hero Sports. They got North Dakota State number 1, followed by South Dakota State, who was number 5 with Hero Sports. James Madison number 3. I know that when I recite, and this is number 2, and this is number 1, it gets boring. So I'll just say they got Wofford instead of number 8, number 10, but they do have them as the best team in the SoCon. Also, Southern Con, they have Furman at number 2. So does Street and Smiths, number 15 overall. They had Kennesaw State 19 instead of 22. They had Elon down a little bit lower. And then they had ETSU as the 25th best team in the College Football America Yearbook FCS preseason rankings. That would mean ETSU is number 3 in the SoCon. I think they're going to be number 2. Then they got ETSU 1 back of number 24 San Diego, does the College Football America Yearbook, and 1 ahead of Incarnate Word. The Indiana State Sycamores, number 27, Duquesne Dukes, number 28, Monmouth, number 29, and then the Eastern Kentucky Colonels, number 30. So that's how that translates over there. All right, it's 1 o'clock. Have you eaten yet? Have you? Go to Asian House. It's right there in West Market, like you're driving to Jonesboro from Johnson City, or like you're driving to Johnson City. You're coming from Jonesboro or Greenville. It's right there in the shops in West Market, which is about a mile down the road towards Jonesboro from the big intersection at State of Franklin and Market. So it's right there, 11E, 321. They're open for lunch. They open up at 11. And if you mention my name, you get 10% off. But what's great is that their lunch menu basically starts at $5.99, and you get a lot of food with that. You do get the egg roll, the rice, and all that. Check out the menu. It's at goasianhouse.com. Again, mention my name, Marky Billson. You'll get 10% off. Remember Tom for catering as well. We'll be back. More from Media Days after this.
20 WEMB Sports Radio Irwin. Real sports talk.